I broke down in East St. Louis on the Kansas City line. I drunk up all my money. I had borrowed it every single time.
Larry Groce here, mountainstage.org is where you can hear the performance of Ms. Holly Cole, who is with us today. And if you can't hear it on radio, you can always hear it on our website. We had a holiday show today, so let me show you one of her holiday albums, Baby It's Cold Outside, which is still available. But she has a brand new CD also that's just self-titled called Holly Cole. And first of all, I will talk a little bit about the holiday thing because not everybody, if someone saw you in concert when you were doing Tom Waits tunes or cabaret tunes, they might not exactly quickly think you've been very successful doing Christmas shows, but you have for a long time in Canada. How did that happen?
Well, it happened very organically. I just sort of fell into it. Some people say having my first name, it was like it was inevitable that I would be doing Christmas shows. But the first record we made was a short, like an EP that was of Christmas songs well before this record.
Right.
And from then on, people just associated me with Christmas, and honestly, I'm not a really big Christmas person, but I enjoy aspects of it, and I like to. I mean, a lot of the music, the material that we don't do a lot of necessarily Christmas favorites. We do some, but we do a lot of more obscure Christmas tunes and some Christmas tunes that I've written, and I kind of like to hook a stick at Christmas a little bit, you know, and it's pretty easy to do.
Well, there's so many people out there doing the warm and wonderful Christmas show that the Holly Cole Christmas show is different, and it has definitely a more bluesy, jazzy feel to it, and it comes at it from sideways a little bit.
And I'll tell you, Larry, it takes a lot of work to make Santa Claus sexy, but I'm
but you do it.
But I'm trying. I'm up for the task.
I'd like you for Christmas. Please make my wish come true. 'Cause I'd trim trees and deck the hallways if I knew you'd be mine always. I won't be blue for Christmas, for old Saint Nick comes through and he remembers that I'd like you for Christmas, New Year's and Easter too.
I don't like to do the Christmas shows every single year because rather than annual, I like it to be tradition, but not annual. Because I like to keep it fresh. I also like to change up the material a lot too, and keep it fresh for the audience, keep it fresh for the band too.
Yeah. How old is that Sexsmith song that you started
It's
with?
not that old. It's about I think it's 3 years old. Yeah.
That's a great song.
I love it. It's beautiful.
You know? Well, I guess that's the key, is finding Christmas and holiday songs that are also just great songs.
This is it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think you've done that. Well, talk a minute now about your project, the Holly Cole record. What's going to be on that? What is it?
Well, that's a composition of my own and mostly jazz standards, all reinvented and co-arranged by myself and the very great Gil Goldstein. And it was co-produced as well by myself and Greg Cohen, who's a brilliant bass player and producer. And it's most of the tunes are a group of amazing musicians that Greg Cohen put together from New York. And and we're just about to go to New York, but Gil is an unbelievable horn arranger and legendary too, and it was intimidating working with him for me because I've known his work for so long. But we happen to be kind of kindred spirits musically, so it worked out well.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. house is haunted by the memories that refuse to die.
We evolved as a trio. You know, initially we were a trio for a long time. Aaron Davis and David Pilch and I, and we kind of grew up on our instruments that way and created, honed a style of our own. And the funny thing is that we wanted it was piano based and voice trio. And initially I wanted a drummer, but we couldn't afford one.
So that's one of the reasons why your sound became as it is.
Well, this is it. It's, I guess, necessity is the mother of invention. So the fact that we didn't have a drummer meant that we all had to use our instruments differently. So Dave played a lot on the side of the bass, the percussive stuff. Aaron plays inside the piano. I just made all kinds of different rhythmic choices, and the band, although it's still minimal, it created the sound.
Yeah, even before your voice comes in, maybe I'm imagining it, but I've heard enough of you perhaps, I can tell it's a Holly Cole arrangement. I mean, even when the song starts, even if it's a song I haven't heard, and I'm not sure what it is, what that is musically.
I can't exactly put my finger on it, but arranging is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
It's not just the tunes and the singing or the playing. The arrangement and the overall concept is a huge part of it. And also, I mean, my favorite thing is subtext. So in the arrangement, musically, it has to really support the what I'm doing lyrically. So that dictates a lot.
I think that's the secret, is that you stand out. Perhaps among the very, very best today. I think it used to be yesteryear, maybe there was more attention paid to that.
Right.
The lyric and the subtext. The great singers always had that. The phrasing, everything, the articulation of how they did it, a little bit meant a lot.
Well, it was different in a time when they wrote, like in the 40s and 30s and stuff, when they wrote, there were no singer-songwriters then. It wasn't really until the 60s. So the people who wrote the songs, well, for one thing, one person wrote the music usually, one person wrote the lyrics, and then another person sang it. So there were three people who were at the height of all those things were coming together to make the song, rather than someone writing the lyrics and the music and singing. And there are examples, of course, of people who are great at all three things. But for the most part, most people excel in one department. So it was a different time period,
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's certainly you excel at the interpretation of a song. Not that you haven't written some tunes and so forth, but you can take songs that would be considered standard repertoire, and you are one of those people that if you hear her, you'll understand immediately. As soon as you may be a song you know, but when she sings it, she totally owns it. Her latest album is Holly Cole. You got to check that out. If she comes nearby while you're during the holiday season, check that out because it's a unique holiday experience. This is one way you can find out about it. An album from the recent past. Maybe It's Cold Outside, and you can listen to it on mountainstage.org or your local public radio station. I'm Larry Groce. She's Holly Cole. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Christmas is children just cannot go to sleep. Christmas is memories, the kind you always keep. So deck the halls and give me a cheer for all the things that Christmas is each and every year. Christmas is some carols to warm you in the snow. Christmas is bedtime and nobody wants all the world is crystal bright to find that Christmas is tonight. Yeah, all the world is tinsel bright to find that Christmas is tonight. You're gonna find that Christmas is. You'll find that Christmas is. You're gonna find. You're gonna find that Christmas is. 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 Find that Christmas is tonight.